Hello, future engineers. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're still new to my channel and you like what I'm doing, please don't forget to share my videos to your friends and to your friends' friends, to your younger brothers and sisters who would want to take up engineering in the future, and to your relatives. That's one way you can keep me going, inspired, and refreshed. Now, if you find my videos interesting and important to your studies, also please don't forget to subscribe. Hello, future engineers, subscribers, viewers, and my students. Here is another video in Calculus 2.1 on functions and their graphs so that you're little by little trained to analyze problems in the future. Find an expression for the function whose graph is the given curve. So we have a line segment. Remember, it is a line segment, so it has bounding ends, and the bounding points or ends -2 comma 1 and 4 comma -6. The bottom half of the parabola x plus quantity y minus 1 square equals 0. So that's a parabola because only one term is squared, the other is first degree. That's a parabola, and this is a circle. In standard form, the radius is 1. So x minus h quantity square plus y minus k quantity square equals radius square. That's the standard equation of a circle with center at h comma k. So h is 1, center is 1, x is 1, and y minus 0 because this y square 1 comma 0, the center, and the radius is 1. So for the first line segment, let's have the slope, the graph first. Let's plot -2 comma 1. The y-axis is graduated 2 units different from the x-axis. So 2 comma 1 would be -2 comma 1 would be here. And 4 comma -6 would be here. And that's the line. And we denote another point here with coordinates x comma y, the point. So from definition of slope, delta y over delta x, so 1 minus -6 over -2 minus 4 is equal to y minus -6 over x minus 4. So slope is 1 minus -6 over -2 minus 4, and it is also equal to y minus -6 over x minus 4. So simplifying, this is 7 over -6 equals y plus 6 over x minus 4. Then we cross multiply, 7x minus 28 equals -6y minus 36. Transposing -6y to the left, so 6y, transposing 7x to the right, -7x. Transpose -28 to the right, -36 plus 28 is -8. So this is now 6y equals -7x minus 8. Dividing everything by 6, so y equals -7 over 6x minus 4 thirds, where -8 over 6 is -4 thirds. So that's the equation of that line segment, and it has a domain of -2, included -2 to 4. And that's it. F of x is -7 over 6x minus 4 thirds with the domain -2 less than equal to x less than equal to 4. For the second part, bottom half of this parabola, so we have x plus quantity y minus 1 square equals 0. So y minus 1 square equals -x. And because this parabola is open to the left, and we only consider, that's a graph, the vertex is at 0 comma +1. This is now the standard form. X minus h, so this is x minus 0, and this is y minus 1 quantity square. So that means the vertex is at 0, x is 0, or h is 0, and k is 1, so 1. And it is open to the left, so positive. But we only consider the bottom half. So extracting the square root, y minus 1 equals square root of negative plus minus square root of negative x, because we are interested only of the bottom half, not the upper half of the parabola. So we consider the sign of the radical negative and transpose negative 1 to the right, so it becomes y equals 1 minus square root of negative x. So that this is defined, x should be negative 0 to negative infinity or negative infinity to 0, so that we can extract the square root of negative of x. So x, that gives us the idea that x should be negative up to 0, so that this is defined. Y equals 1 minus square root of negative x. So f of x is 1 minus square root of negative x with the domain negative infinity to 0, including 0. Then let's now plot this parabola, even if you don't have an idea about this. So we can plot, we just substitute x is 0, x is negative 1, and x is negative 4. Those points are enough to plot. So when x is 0, take note that the x and y axis are equally graduated. When x is 0, 1 minus square root of negative of 0 is 1 minus 0. So it is 1, 0, 1 here. Then when x is negative 1, square root of negative 1 is square root of positive 1, which is 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. So negative 1 and 0. And when x is negative 4, square root of negative 4 is 2. So 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So negative 4x, negative 1 here. Then these 3 points are enough to sketch the graph of the parabola, which is the bottom half of the parabola, because the other half branch is there. And we are sketching graphs of function. Then this is a two-valued function actually. So this is the function, so that it is intercepted by only one point by a vertical line. And let's extend that as shown. So that's a graph of that parabola. And finally, the top half of the circle, x minus 8, x minus 1 quantity square plus y square equals 1. This is the standard equation of a circle. The center is at 1, 0, because this is y minus 0 square. And the radius is 1. So x minus 1 square plus y square equals 1. So we are considering the upper half. So y square equals 1 minus quantity x minus 1 square. That's the, by the way, expected location of the center, and the radius 1 for those who are expert or knowledgeable on the standard equation of a circle. But even if you're not knowledgeable of that, we still sketch this by explanation and by point plotting. So y square equals 1 minus quantity x minus 1 square. Expand, y square equals 1 minus quantity x square minus 2x plus 1, which simplifies to, because we have 1 minus 1 here. So 2x, negative of negative 2x is 2x, then minus x square. Y square is 2x minus x square. Extract the square root, so it is supposedly plus minus square root of 2x minus x square. So the sign taken should be positive, because we are considering the upper or top half of the circle. The lower half, then it should be the negative value, negative square root of 2x minus x square for the lower half. So we are interested in the top half, therefore the function is positive square root of 2x minus x square. And let's just plot this by point plotting. Our domain or values to be substituted here, because the center is at 1, 0, and the radius is 1, so the leftmost point is 0 and the rightmost point is 1, because the radius is 1. So we just plot values between 0 and 2, between 0 and 2 because the radius is 1 and the center is at 1 comma 0 plus 1, so the rightmost point would be 2 comma 0. So again, we begin by setting x equals 0. So square root of 2 times 0 minus 0 square is 0. And take note that the x and the y-axis are graduated in the same manner, but it's just one half. So we have when x is 0, y is 0 here, the origin. When x is 1 half, 2 times 1 half is 1 minus 1 half square. So square root of 3/4. That's square root of 3 over 2, and that's square root of 3 over 2 is 0.866. When x is 1 half, 0.866, somewhere there. Then when x is 1, 2, square root of 2 times 1 minus 1 square is square root of 1. So when x is 1, y is 1, which shows the radius really is 1. Then when x is here 3 halves, 2 times 3 halves is 3 minus 3 halves square, so it is again square root of 3/4 or square root of 3 over 2 or 0.866. And finally, when x is 2, 2 times 2 minus 2 square is 0. So 2 comma 0. So that's the top half of the circle. And the domain is from 0 to 2, included 2. So close bracket 0 to 2. That's the domain, the set of values that we can use to plot these circles if you want more points on the circle. So f of x is square root of 2x minus x squared with the domain close bracket 0 to 2 or open bracket 0 to 2, including 0 and 2 as boundaries. So that's it, and I hope that you learn another concepts on functions needed for you to think of functions in your chosen engineering courses.